You want to hold that, Stiv? There you go. Okay, that's available at Bleecker Bob's and other stores in the metropolitan area.
Buy it. We need the money.
Buy it. They need the money. Okay, basically what we want to talk about tonight is, can you give us a brief synopsis of your musical... Sounds good. Can you... You know this guy? No. Well, there's a picture of you on here too. Okay, hold on to that, please. Can you give us a brief synopsis of your musical odyssey to New York City from, where is he from again?
Girard.
Girard, Pennsylvania, right?
Girard, Ohio.
Ohio, I'm sorry. It's Pennsylvania, isn't it? Whatever.
What's round on the end and high in the middle?
I don't know.
Ohio.
Okay, how'd you get to New York?
By a 747 and then a taxi in from LaGuardia. Right.
Yeah. What brought you to New York? Seriously.
Seriously? All seriousness aside?
Yeah.
Fame and fortune. We knew we had to come to New York to...
we being?
The Dead Boys.
Who consist of, for those who don't know?
Cheetah Chrome, Johnny Blitz, Jimmy Zero, in that order. And then later on we added Jeff Magnum, who was our original bass player but was afraid of the big city, so he didn't come out at first. He didn't want to leave the farmland of Painesville. But...
And you guys left when?
We formed in January 75, but we didn't get here till July of 76 because no one had a road map. We didn't know how to get here.
Oh, that's a shame. So what?
Things are tough in Cleveland, I'll tell you.
I understand. So what happened? They really couldn't understand what you're trying to do in Cleveland. Is that right?
No.
I understand you couldn't get any work in Cleveland.
Yeah, most of the jobs were filled. I had a job as a dishwasher for a while. But, well, basically, if you're talking seriousness.
Yeah, serious.
I hate that.
I know. What are you going to do? You know, the liberals want it.
Liberals. I hate liberals. What happened to us was we couldn't get any work in Cleveland because we wore leather jackets and they thought we were a bike gang. They wouldn't let us in a lot of the clubs. And our music was over their heads. They were into wearing satin pants, glitter shoes, listening to Kiss, fag bands like that. And they were just in that whole faggot, rock and roll scene. And we were too real for them, so we came up here and found an audience. Joey Ramone helped us get booked in the CBGBs, and from the time we played CBGBs, it's been downhill from then. We formed the Dead Boys, and we got signed to Sire Records, and we put 2 albums out, and it ended our career.
So now you're off to bigger and better things with this 45.
This 45, right.
And what about the album that you're going to make?
It's going to be called The Allies. It'll be on Bomp Records, which is Decca Records in... Decca? Yeah.
Decca?
Decca. It's Decca Records in London, and it's going to be called Allies because we're uniting Los Angeles, New York, and London in the sense that I sing, Jeff plays bass, and we're working a guitar player and drummer from almost every band that's been the leader of the punk and not new wave bands that let it, like the Runaways. We're playing Joan Jett and Sandy West from LA is doing a cut. Johnny Thunders and Jerry Nolan from the Heartbreakers are doing a cut. And then the rest are going to be all English bands. Steve Jones and Paul Cook from the Sex Pistols are going to do the majority. We're going to have a couple of the Damned. And possibly some of the Clash. Depends on who's in London at the time when we do it.
Okay, Jeff, how long have you known this guy?
A long time.
And that's back in Pennsylvania?
Yes. Grew up together. Went to Catholic school.
Oh, you went to Catholic school?
His mother and my mother were both mothers.
Uh-huh. One of them must have been... Well, anyway.
We had the same mailman.
That's what I was going to say. I'll let you say it. I could see the resemblance. So I understand you were the first one to get him on stage?
Yes, I was. And he split his head open.
How did he do that?
He smashed his head with a mic stand.
Typical Stiv Bator.
Yeah. He was only 17, and I had to take him to the hospital.
A young fool.
Yes.
Okay, so what happened was you guys then... Oh. It goes in like that. See, it goes in like that. Right. Then you hold it like this. Okay? Then it doesn't fall out. You are from Ohio, aren't you? How do you like New York?
Fine. Ohio has most institutions for the mentally retarded in the United States.
Is that right?
It's true. 500,000 people.
I heard they're going to make it into a parking lot on Thursday. So is it Thursday? So anyway, you guys are getting together with this album, and what's the basis for your music? I mean, what do you really like? What were you into, let's say, 5 years ago?
S&M.
Is that the black leather or plastic, whatever it is? I'm sorry. I don't know if it's leather or plastic.
It's plastic, man. I'm plastic all the way through. Ask Cheetah Chrome. He'll tell you.
So the background, your musical background comes from the early 60s, from the English sound and from the Detroit sound?
Right. Cleveland, in the beginning, was really into the Mersey sound. In fact, the song we did, It's Cold Outside, is a cover from a band called The Choir, which, through a few other bands, became the Raspberries. And I'm getting a crick in my neck. Wait a minute.
How's that?
That's better.
Okay.
That's-
I can move my arm quicker than you can crick your neck.
That's too phallic, man. That looks too homo for me.
You're not into fags and liberals, huh?
Yeah, they're both the same, fags and liberals.
I understand. I've been saying that for years. Okay, getting back to the Mersey sound into Cleveland.
Okay, Cleveland started out in '65, man. Mersey hit like shit into a fan. It was like really like strong, and like all the kids really got into that Liverpool sound, and that's all there was. And bands were gods. That's why I wanted to be in one. I couldn't get laid, and if you just had a guitar and walked down the street, you know, blowjob. But anyways, between that and then in '69, the Detroit sound hit us really strong. So what formed in Cleveland was the power of Detroit and the pop sense of a 3-minute song, you know, a tight, concise, hit-oriented song. So that's what you had. In consensus, it was power pop. You know, power pop started in Cleveland. That's why Cleveland is the new Liverpool in a sense that it had all the elements of what Liverpool was. It was an isolated city away from the big city, but collecting all the press and the stupidity, I guess you could call it.
How come you look at Jeff when you say stupidity?
Because he's from Sharon.
Oh, I see. That's right.
They didn't catch that.
No. Sharon's a place in Pennsylvania. Tell us about. Do it now. Did you learn that in the Elks place in Sharon?
Shh, they think that's how they're supposed to smoke it.
Oh, I'm sorry. That old expression, do you sniff it or take it through the arm? I think you sniff it. Okay, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Like, they cut out all birth control pills in Sharon, Pennsylvania, because it didn't work. Every time the woman there stood up, it would fall out.
I'm sorry. I think that's funny. I'm sorry. Do you have anything to say to the youth of America?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead.
Listen, kids. You know those pictures of dead presidents in your mother's and father's wallets? Well, give them to me. Because you know what I'm going to do with them? I'm going to kill every fucking adult out there because they're assholes. You got to give your money to me because you put me in power. We'll get rid of hippies. You hate them long-haired bastards, don't you? We got to get rid of these commies. Give the money to me. I'm the future of America. I'll make America safe for you and me. We'll have beer, everything free. Give me your money. Buy my records. I am the future. Back to all seriousness aside.
Yeah, right. All seriousness, thank you. I knew you wanted to get that out of your system and flush it.
I got out of my system a while ago, John.
Was that what you were doing there? Jeff, what about your music? What about it? Right. Well, give me a.
Like that?
Yeah, it's your turn. Give me your basic background.
Ohio.
Ohio. That explains everything. No, really.
Basic.
Are your roots more or less, call them roots the same?
Mersey, Liverpool, English rock, 60s.
The kind of music that has a beat that cooks, that grabs you.
Dave Clark 5. King.
Stones, Kinks.
Yeah. Everything like that.
And you try and bring that across in the new album now?
No.
Not at all. I didn't think so either. You guys suck, you know? You know I don't want to do this, and you suck. You do too. Okay, you have anything else to say?
I didn't even want to be here. I was forced to by my PR agent.
You hang out with Puerto Ricans?
That's my line. Jesus Christ.
You look forward to getting airplay on radio?
Yes.
Definitely. You in it for the money now, Stiv?
That's all I've ever been after was the money. I hate punks. I hate everyone. All I want is money so I can get away from all you bastards.
Tell me, Stiv, the blondes have more fun?
Yeah, 'cause they're easier to find in the dark.
What made you become a blonde? I know you were a blonde before someone else whose name I won't mention.
It was peroxide, Miss Clairol peroxide. That's what made me become a blonde.
I mean, you did it before someone else who's been taking a lot of credit for it.
Okay, I gotta confess. You see, I'm a transvestite, and when I used to wear black bras and panties that I borrowed from my mother, it just didn't look right with black hair. So I dyed my hair blonde, and it looked great, man. As I was, you are. As I am, you will be.
Uh-huh.
I'm the trendsetter, baby. So give me your money.